techniques I just showed you using the rainbow cakes and put them into an actual design. So the first thing I'm going to do is load my rainbow cake with the neon rainbow cake. I'm going to load my sponge, again by just swiping it across so that I retrieve all of the colors on my sponge. And then I start off in the corner of her eye, but on a diagonal. I got some paint in her eye. So I start off on a diagonal. I press down like I taught you guys on her arm and bring it down in a counterclockwise. That way you get the full width of the rainbow cake and you get all the colors. So it's okay that I went under her eyes. Remember that little trick I taught you guys by turning your sponge around and just kind of wiping off where you went overboard? That's the beauty of having kind of a damp sponge. So now what I'm going to do is, while that's kind of give it a second to dry, I am going to load my sponge with a little bit of pink and metallic white to add a little bit of color to her cheeks. Mixing the metallic white and a little bit of the pink, the midnight pink, just to give her that rosy cheek. And it's going to be like a metallic, so I just kind of slightly dust it on the cheeks. This sponge is almost very dry, so it just gives that very little color to it, but I like that color. It's like really soft. Alright, so then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a technique that Rebecca from Arty Brushstroke showed me when I was in LA. And basically what she did is she showed me how to use this black and white cake and how to line the eye, because I've always had trouble with it, doing two colors on top of each other, especially when you use a black. So I'm just going to load it back and forth on my brush so that I pick up the black and the white, so you can see it on there. And then I'm going to line the bottom of the eye. So close your eyes. So you start off in the corner of the eye on a slant and pull it up. This helps you get that two-toned effect without it having to do both lines at once. So the next thing I'm going to do is just use my 3/4 flat brush in white to just go and add some embellishments right over this. And this can be a fast and easy eye design for you. So if you can turn a little bit this way. So what I'm going to do is just start on a slant, pull it down, and pull it down this way. And then what I'm going to do is create that same effect up here. In, right there. Can you turn a little bit more this way? And then on top of it, I'm going to create the same one. These are just kind of like teardrops on top of each other. So I just brought it in. Now using my brush, I'm just going to add a little bit more embellishments and just outline this design and shape it up. Because you're having trouble with your brush work, you can go in and just add a few lines right on top and fix it all up. So what I'm going to do to connect this together is just bring this up into teardrops into the corner of her eye. And then I'm just going to give the rest of these a little bit of an outline. So I'm bringing this in a little bit more and add some starbursts right around there. So I'm just adding a few more teardrops right on top of it and just making my lines a little bit more delicate by extending them and adding my dots wherever I need to, or I feel that I need to, right under here on this line, bringing it in and in here to tie it all together. And you can extend this line too. Turn a little bit this way by just giving it kind of the contrast of thick and thin lines. You're able to get a much more delicate effect using this technique. And then of course I'm going to add a little bit of white glitter right on top. I don't have to go and add any more black outline unless of course you want to, but I like to keep this design pretty simple, just using a few colors and my rainbow cake is the background. Add a little bit of white glitter right on top, and I'm going to outline the top of her eye too. So this is one eye design you can do using, okay, you can open your eye now. This is one eye design you can use using your arty cakes, using just your flat brush, using a technique of going underneath the eye, a little bit of glitter, and your rainbow cake. So now I'm going to show you another design on the other eye using your smaller arty cake as opposed to using your full rainbow cake. So you can create a lot of the same designs, it's just whichever you choose to use that you prefer. So what I'm going to do is start off by putting a little bit of eyeshadow on her eye, and I'm using my Ben Nye cakes and mixing them with a little bit of this Wolf metallic white because I love the effect you get. So I'm going to blend them, and I'm using a damp sponge to load them. Close your eye. So I'm starting off and just pressing it right inside of her eye to fill in the lid. So that's the first color, and I flip it over, and I'm going to load it with a little bit of a darker, kind of more magenta color mixed with the Wolf metallic white again. Okay, so then I'm going to go back in with a little bit of this magenta mixed with it, and notice how I'm lightly, gently pressing it in. And to get that color blended perfectly, I switch back and forth because I have both colors loaded on my sponge. So now I have a nice and even blend going all the way through. Then I'm going to use this beautiful arty cake, and I'm going to load it, of course, back and forth so that I get all of the colors on my brush. So what I'm going to do is start with the purple. If you can, I'll move this chair a little bit more. I'm sorry. You still have her on the angle? Okay. So I'm going to start with the purple on the outside, and now what I'm going to do, press it down, pull it in so that I get that loop. Going to come up and come down right there on her eye. I'm going to load my brush one more time. And again, you're loading it so that it's not super duper wet. So what I'm going to do is just make these little loops in, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Just smaller loops in there and smaller ones, almost just using the tip of my brush. Now you can go in and give it her eye just that little bit of an outline if you want to, just kind of like you did there, if that helps you too, if you wanted that purple eyeliner. Now what I'm going to do is just add a few more embellishments using white. And I find the white is a really nice kind of accent color because sometimes black can be just way too harsh. So I'm going to go in and just add some teardrops right in here to just kind of give the design some shape. And I'm using Wolf white, and I'll add some dots right inside of there of different sizes. And I'm going to add my teardrops right inside of here as well. In the corner of the eye, I'm just going to add a few more dots as well, right inside of there. And very gently, I'm just going to add these kind of really soft, thin lines to just kind of give it some more shape. Just going to fix it in here, and if I wanted to, just add a few more in there. And then I will add some glitter right on top, some more of the white glitter. And there you have two different eye designs. You can look in the camera and just smile. She's so beautiful, gosh. Alright, so she was our great model today, and this is just two designs using the techniques I taught you guys, using your rainbow cakes and using the Ben Nye cakes. So just say bye.